Boys, UFC 311, Makhachev versus Moicano just finished up. It's 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m. where I am. Help your boy out. Leave a like on this video. Maybe even subscribe. As you can see on screen, we got every single winner, a few losers, and we're going to run through the main card and those prelims because on this rare MMA channel, we go through the entire card, starting with the main card. Of course, starting with that main event. Are we really surprised, to be honest? Like, it sucks so much to say, but are we that surprised? You know, I'm glad Moicano it was semi-competitive here and there, apart to when, you know, he got put on the ground. But, you know, Moicano was there to throw hands. He didn't come into here, you know, scared or anything. He immediately came in here with a leg kick. He started the dance. And is it just me, or were you guys surprised that Makhachev and Moicano didn't touch gloves in the beginning? Because I was very surprised about that. But regardless, as you can see right now, we got Makhachev. Who are we gonna match him up with next? And we can see that Arman is also on here. You know, Dana White said in the press conference that Arman isn't getting a title shot after this. I have two theories on why Arman pulled out, and neither of them are because of a back injury. We'll get into that when we get to Arman. But Makhachev, I've been saying this for a minute now. You know, we're going to have a few pay-per-views down the line. We're going to have Ilia Topuria versus Volkanovski. Unfortunately, my boy's going to get slumped out again. Then I want to see, you know, maybe around the third quarter of the year. I don't really want to see this towards the end of the year. I would like to see this sooner rather than later. But I have Islam Makhachev taking on Ilia Topuria. I think, you know, this makes sense in the division right now. There's no one else other than Arman who deserves the title shot, to be honest. And Dana came out and said, you know, he's not rebooking Islam versus Arman next. Let's keep moving on. Moicano. Feel bad for Moicano. You know, I low-key started crying when he had his post-fight interview. You know, Joe Rogan said he had this on one-day notice, and my dude said, you know, it wasn't a one-day notice. It was a whole life notice, and he was training so hard for this his entire life, and he doesn't know if he's going to get another title shot. It's like right in the feels. My heart broken. All I can say is I'm glad my boy got paid. I'm sure he made $1 million plus for this fight. I would hope he did at least. But I just say, you know, the next pay-per-view is looking a little dry. Just rebook him versus Beneil Dariush, to be honest. Put that on 312. I wouldn't be mad at this as a featured fight because, like I said, 312 right now, Garbaggio. I think we just rebook this one. The good thing about the fight with Makhachev is, you know, he didn't take much damage. You know, it's a pretty fast fight. Shout out to the boy Moicano, though. You know, his run begins now. This is when he starts taking it extra serious, my Bruda. But with that being said, Arman pulled out, and I got two ideas of why this happened. And again, none of them had to do with the back injury. Number one, this dude just couldn't make weight. He didn't even try to make weight. I think, you know, he saw that. He remembers that, you know, that Charles Oliveira, he missed weight too, and then he was just stripped of the belt. And if Arman would have went in and didn't make weight and he beat Islam, he wouldn't have got the belt. So that's one of my theories, that he knew he couldn't make weight, so he just pulled out. Or the second thing, which I am leaning more towards this one because of how Dana has responded to rebooking this one. I think this guy low-key might have popped for PEDs. And if you remember, the UFC don't have to disclose this anymore. If you guys are wondering, why don't we see any fighters popping for PEDs? It's not because people aren't popping. They're definitely popping, but it's because the UFC don't have to announce it anymore. So those are my two things. I'm leaning towards the PED ones. But with that being said, he's probably going to come back in a few months, you know, 6 months, depending on how long the suspension is. I think, you know, if he doesn't come back for a hot minute, 100% got popped for PEDs. If he came back, you know, soonish rather than later, maybe he just pulled out because he knew he couldn't make weight. I think we do a number one contender fight. Hear me out now. Arman versus the boy Max Holloway. Number one contender. Winner gets a title shot. And, you know, I'm backing up my boy Max Holloway. Could you imagine if we see Max Holloway get a title fight at 155? You know, a boy can only dream. Let's keep moving down. Merab Dvalishvili. Shout out the boy Merab getting it done over Umar. It was a very, very high level, fun fight. There's rumors of a rematch already. I don't think we run that one next, to be honest. I don't want to see a rematch right away. With that being said, Merab is only gonna have to fight rematches for a minute now because he's beaten a lot of the guys right now who have an argument for a title fight. And I know for a fact this is what the UFC is going to do. I'm just thinking 5 steps ahead because I know the UFC is giving Sean O'Malley a title shot as soon as he comes back. Merab Dvalishvili, Sean O'Malley, that's what's going to happen next. Sean was in the audience. Merab is already talking about how he wants to fight Sean next. Plus, Merab is champion. I guarantee Sean O'Malley is the biggest payday out of all of the other fights, though. More likely than not, this one is next. Umar, what goes on with Umar? What happens with Umar? I think we do, again, a #1 contender fight. Winner gets a title fight between Umar Nurmagomedov and the boy Petr Yan, someone who's on a resurgence as of lately. There's an argument to be made that Petr Yan should get the next title fight. I'm just thinking what the UFC is going to do. The UFC is definitely going to give Sean O'Malley the title shot before they give it to someone like a Petr Yan. It's just what's going to happen. Is that what I want? Not necessarily, I kind of want Sean O'Malley to get a win or two before he gets another title shot, but it is what it is. This is most likely what's going to happen. Let's keep going down because I'm excited for these light heavyweight ones. Jiří Procházka. To be honest, both of these dudes, the people I matched them up with, bangers. Jiří Procházka got it done, knocked down and knocked out my boy Jamahal multiple times throughout that fight. I think, I'm just saying this so I put it in the universe so this shit comes to life because we are getting a fight here in the light heavyweight division relatively soon between Jan Blachowicz and Carlos Ulberg. I'm backing my boy Jan Blachowicz and I want to see Jiří Procházka, Jan Blachowicz. Jiří said he wanted some time off. Makes good sense for the Jan Blachowicz fight because that fight isn't too far away. We run this one. Winner gets a title shot. And yeah, another great fight in the light heavyweight division that we haven't gotten yet. 2 former champions. We need to see this one. Moving down, Jamahal, he got it done. He got knocked out. And, where do we go for... What does Jamahal do next, Jamahal, I think he has to go down the rankings a little bit and fight someone down the rankings. Now, I'm trying to match him up with someone who I think this would be a very fun fight. They've had low-key beef here, mainly on that Jamahal side. I think we rebook this fight. Jamahal, Khalil Roundtree, both of them are still going to need some time off. Jamahal going to need some time off because he got knocked down and knocked out in this fight. Khalil Roundtree, I still would like to see a little bit more time off for him to recover from the Alex Pereira fight. Me personally, I wouldn't be mad seeing this one at like UFC 3-6. No, I don't want to see 316. That's too close. Maybe 318. I think 318 would be a 317 even. I could see happening, but I don't think I want to see anything earlier than 316. I think that'd be just too close. Let's go down. Jailton Almeida got it done. I told you he pretty much did exactly what I said. Forgot to mention, we did decently well on this card. I think we went 8 for 4, mainly because I'll get into the guys that lost, but like just some stupid, some brain dead activity. Mainly like the Umar Nurmagomedov one, I'm not going to take that big of a critique over just because, I did say it was going to be very, very competitive, which it was. I did pick Jamahal to get it done. I thought Jiří was going to be I thought his chin was going to be gone, to be honest, because he had way too many wars. Then other than that, the whole main card we got right. And then I'll get into the prelims of the ones that we got wrong once we get there. But Jailton Almeida got it done. He's been calling out the boy Tsarukyan. Tsarukyan, your time has come. It's time for you to repay your dues for robbing my boy Volkov. Jailton Almeida, Tsarukyan, I want to see this one next. And to be honest, both these dudes could run it fairly soon here, and that's kind of what I want. I wouldn't be mad having this on the John Jones versus Tom Aspinall fight if that does happen. Moving down, RDR got it done. I told you guys this shit would happen. It didn't happen exactly how I said, but he got it done. He got it done way faster than I thought. I thought it would be a 3-round fight, but no, this dude did it first round. I think we give him a jump up in competition. He beat Kevin Holland, who is just outside the rankings. We get him into the rankings now. We don't get him top 5 or whatever he was saying, a super high guy. We get him somewhere a little bit in between. Roman Dolidze, a perfect matchup. I think if he gets it done here, we look into the top 5-ish guys. I think if he gets it done here, we look at like a Brendan Allen next. And yeah, I just think this would be a fun matchup. And RDR looking like a menace in this division. I'm not going to lie. Let's go down to the prelims. The prelims, it's so sad. So this is one of them that I got wrong. Barcelos, fraud checked my boy Payton Talbott. Who could have thought that shit was going to happen? Absolutely nobody. It is what it is. Raoni Barcelos, I think we just give him someone a little bit higher up in the rankings. Fight he could get it done. A fight that I think would be very fun and competitive. Charles Jourdain. Run that one next. And then Payton Talbott, I know for 100% they're going to do this shit next. Mark it down. If you guys can bet on this, put it down. Put the house on it. Because they are 100% giving Payton Talbott a layup in his next fight against Raoni Yahya. You can't tell me that Payton Talbott isn't getting a old man sacrifice to get a bounce back win. They are 100% doing that shit. Mark my words. Moving down, Azamat Bekoev. I didn't really have any... This was a short notice one, so I didn't have my prediction on this one. My boy flatlined Zachary Reese, which I don't know if I'm happy about. I don't really care that much about, because to be honest, I said this in my prediction video, Zachary Reese is one of the most overrated prospects we have, and I don't think he's really that much of a prospect anymore. That being said, Azamat Bekoev, I think we give him a decently big jump up in competition to see how good he is, because he destroyed Zachary Reese. So I want to give him a pretty big jump up in competition. Someone who's on, I believe, could be a 2-fight losing streak as of right now. Maybe just one, but I think we do Bekoev versus Arman Petrosyan. You can't tell me this wouldn't be a crazy ass fight. I could honestly see this being like a co-main of an Apex card, a featured fight of an Apex card. I could see that happening. Run this shit next. This would just be a banger of a fight. Moving down though, we got evil Anthony Smith. We got who Anthony Smith thinks he is. We got Bogdan, Guskov. He got it done. Again, a short notice fight that I didn't have a prediction on. I think we give him a guy up in the rankings because he just fought someone who wasn't even in the rankings. He was supposed to fight Johnny Walker. I don't want to see that fight at all. Please, Johnny Walker, move up to heavyweight. I don't want to see you here in light heavyweight. I think we do evil Anthony Smith versus a guy who's literally one rank ahead of him, Azamat Murzakanov. Run this one next. Winner can get a top 8 guy, because I think both these dudes are around the high 10s. I'm not too sure. Who gives a... Shout out to boy Grant Dawson, though. Let's move into Grant Dawson. I said in my prediction video that Grant Dawson was going to have the most boring performance of the card. Shout out to that boy, because he must have heard my prediction and completely changed up his style, because he was actually fairly entertaining at points, which is very hard to say. That shit never happens. So shout out to the boy Grant Dawson. He deserves a bump up. He deserves a chance to get back into the rankings. We give him BSD. BSD, this is either his return comeback season or completely out of the rankings after this. But Grant Dawson, Benoit Saint-Denis, run this one next. I think this would be a very fun and honestly pretty competitive matchup. Run this one next. Ailin Perez got it done too. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Ailin Perez was a huge underdog. I don't know who the hell was picking her to win. I picked her to win by a 29-28 decision, which is that what happened, or was it 30-27? Regardless, she got the win. I think, it's time we give her a pretty big jump up in the rankings. She was in the, I think, 13th ranking and beat it the number 9th girl. Let's give her someone like a Merab Bueno Silva. She's coming off 2 back-to-back losses, both them title fights. Run this shit next. The only win this girl has was against like Holly Holm, and Holly Holm isn't in the UFC anymore. So run this one next. Bueno Silva, very overhyped. I say we just run this one next, to be honest. And at the end of the day, who gives a... Again, this one pisses me off too. I forgot about this one. Muin Gafurov got it done over Reinier Nakamura. When are we gonna have Fight IQ part of the breakdowns for these fights? Because Reinier Nakamura is a fucking retard. I'm sorry, it's just what it is. The Fight IQ, this dude is a high level wrestler, but decided, let me just strike with this dude the entire time, even though I'm having zero success and I'm getting countered and dropped. So Reinier Nakamura, cut this dude from the UFC. I don't want to see him no more. Gafurov, shout out to you. You got it done. I think we give him a bump up in the rankings. Garrett Armfield, someone who is on a 2-fight losing streak, so he's going to have to fight below him in the rankings. Run this shit next. We got 2 more to go with. Benardo Sopaj got it done. I think we give him the dude I was just talking about, Reinier Nakamura. I think this would also be a really fun matchup, to be honest. And then finally, Tagir Alimbekov got it done. We bring him up into the rankings. He's on a good win streak. Someone who's on a pretty big losing streak right now. or at least not losing streak, but hasn't been doing very well in his last 5. Alex Perez, he's pretty high in the rankings right now. Run the shit next. Those are every single winner and a few losers in UFC 311. Let me know what you guys think. Would you match these guys up any different? What did you guys think of 311? They announced the 313 card, which I'm very hyped for. Finally, we're getting Pereira versus my boy Big Ink, but I can't wait for my boy to do a big Shama dance over the unconscious body of Ankalaev. But that was UFC 311. Let me know what you guys think of it. Let me know if you would match these guys up any different. I think I'm just repeating myself at this point. So with all that being said, there's really not that much else left to say, except for I will see you guys in my next video.